So the other day I was thinking about something that I wanted to talk about, which is how the 9 to 5 job is the basically it's modern day slavery and
With a twist.
with a twist. What's the twist?
Well, that you agree to it.
That you agree to it. Yeah. Um, because we've sort of been obviously like brainwashed. Otherwise, like we wouldn't agree to it if we knew what we were agreeing to.
Yeah. I mean, if if somebody would tell you this is how it's going to be and this is how you're going to feel
Hmm.
about it. Because let's face it, who feels good about their 9 to 5 when you're just doing it to pay bills?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a what is the you're consenting to that slavery, but that is the twist, like that we are as we grow up in this society, we're told this is the way and this is how you do it. And of course, not everybody is doing that. I feel like more and more people are moving away from that. Like being an entrepreneur is becoming more and more common, which I love to see.
Yeah.
Um, But I was just thinking the other day about, I was talking to you about this the other day about like, I just, I always used to view being a business owner as like, oh, you had to invent something or like do something like, because I guess my dad, that's the vision I had because he invented something and that's why he was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just never considered like even like I told you like being a realtor to me, I wasn't a business owner. It was just like, well, if there's so many realtors, like you're not a entrepreneur.
Yeah, but now that you're on the other side, you understand how much of a business it is.
Yes, yes. It
Like,
was like a sneaky way for me to get like trick my mind to getting into being an entrepreneur and then realizing, oh, I can start a business when I didn't believe in myself.
yeah, you were always in that path of going to school, getting a job
Yeah,
type thing. That was kind of your train of thought with everything, that you needed school, college
yeah,
to achieve anything. And then you found yourself not liking what you chose, basically, because you were working as an interior designer for an
mm-hmm,
architectural firm
yeah,
and you hated it.
mm-hmm, yeah. I've talked about that before. I hated it. Um, he has food on his nose. The cat. Right. But even then, when I quit, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I remember thinking about, oh, I could start little things on the side. I tried to start an Etsy shop. I've tried to start like so many things. Like I
Mm-hmm.
tried to start like a photography Etsy shop because I used to love, before my kids were born, I was a photographer. Like I love to do artistic photography. And then like that was like a hobby and then it just fell away, which
Yeah.
I'd love to get back into someday, but I don't know. I just never really believed in myself that I could do it, and that's how I did it. Is basically you
Can we do one of this?
were
Like just of like
a realtor, and you were like, "Come on, you got to get your license," and you're an interior designer, so come on. So it's like
it
basically
fits
you just
perfectly.
yeah,
Yeah.
and and that's how I changed my identity, and
Well, and that was that together with starting investing in real estate too.
that too, yeah,
Because you started playing with your interior design skills as we were investing.
yes,
So you got more confident and it's like, oh, I don't need a boss. I don't need, a firm to work for.
yeah. I made something look good without somebody telling me rules.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like there are no rules. And to this day,
Hmm.
you think about something, we either put it in our house or in a property or whatever it is, because like whatever project we're working on at the time, and then months later I start seeing it everywhere. So like to me it feels that with that part of yourself you're ahead of the curve usually, or right with
Hmm.
the decisions that are being made with the what school, what's how do you say, what's
Trendy.
trendy. There you go.
Yeah, even trendy or like not even trendy because like I feel like this new transitional style with interior design is really gonna stand the test of time. Like it's not a trend like white trim and gray walls. Like that was something that was around for a really long time that's going away now. But I do feel like this transitional style, which is something I've always liked weirdly, because I've held on to my parents' furniture. Like I have all these old things that they they didn't use, and so I started
Hmm.
using them because I liked them and liked the way they look. And then all of a sudden now that's
That's
finally coming into style, and then I see how other people design around it, and then you learn that way too.
yeah, and it's more than that too. It's like you're believing in your skills.
That for sure,
So
yeah. Like I
you,
said, I didn't believe in myself before.
yeah. So it's something, and you're seeing it too. Like you
Hmm.
have proof of that, but you're
Hmm.
aware of that as well. That doesn't mean that it's all the time like that, because you also have your
Imposter syndrome.
imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's how that's just proof for anybody listening. Like I was someone who my self image and what I believed that I wasn't somebody who would ever be a business owner. I thought that I was just supposed to go to school, get a job, and work a 9 to 5 job because I just wasn't smart enough to do that. And
Evidently
I
you
tricked
are.
myself. No, but then you just have to just do it instead of thinking so hard about it. You just do it and then you start being it. Kind of that's how instead of preparing, you just start doing and being.
Well, it's a thing. It's what I was telling you today about how I tend to learn
Hmm.
things, and it's by doing them all the time. Like
Hmm.
I learned to play guitar not by reading music or all that stuff. I grabbed the guitar and I was like, okay, how do you do C? How do you do G? How do you? Okay, sure. Let's see if I can make some rhythm there. You know,
Yeah.
and that's how I started. The same thing with everything. Like I got my real estate license a year, like not even a year and a half after I got to this country.
Hmm.
Like it wasn't even a year and a half after. Like it was barely a year after. Yeah, something like that. And I was selling houses
Hmm.
like before the 2 year mark of me living here.
Yeah,
I
and I
sold my first house.
remember someone we used to know was like, "No, you have to go to college to make good money in this country."
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, I
And
remember
you're
that
just like,
because
"Watch me."
yeah. Well, that was my thought exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not gonna go to college.
Yeah.
Like I didn't go to
And
college in Argentina where it was free. I'm not gonna go to college here where I have to pay at least $50,000.
hmm.
You know, if not a lot more. And
Hmm.
but I still had that thing in my mind where I needed to get a job. I still needed to do something. Like
Yeah.
I remember thinking, with that conversation that I had with that person,
Hmm.
when he came to salaries and things like that, like he was going to go to college to get a job that would pay him what I was making when I was selling insurance.
No, really?
Yeah,
I thought it was like 80,000.
no,
No? Oh.
no, no, no.
Oh.
The first few years it was just like fifty thousand
Oh,
dollars or
okay.
something like that. At least back then,
Yeah.
you know. And then I was like, I was selling insurance, and I was like, I'm making like, why am I gonna
Hmm.
go to college to make this much? Yeah, like maybe it's not my passion, but
Yeah.
and then the I remember the day that I wanted to be a realtor was when I met with Lance Barwell.
Hmm.
He was a manager at Coldwell Banker, and we were talking about real estate. And he lived in Spain playing basketball quite a few years, so he spoke Spanish too. So we kind of connected with that. And one of the agents just comes in the office, and he's like, "I sold a house, blah blah blah," and it's like, and he showed me, you know what this guy just did? He sold a house that was like $500,000 or something like that. It got them another one that was, I don't know, something like another $500,000. I
Hmm.
can't remember exactly. It was something like that. The thing is that when he showed me, he just made this much. In just those two transactions, this guy made $50,000.
Hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck? How
What
many
am I
houses?
doing?
Yeah. How many houses that he sell a year? How many transactions like this that does he do a year? Because right now, if I make one of those, I'm good for the whole
Yeah.
year. Like if I have a listing and
Hmm.
if I sell the house and I help them buy a new one, I'm good for the rest
I
of
feel
the.
like everybody that, not everybody, but a lot of people who became realtors had a very similar experience. Like,
Oh,
look how much
yeah.
this person made in this one transaction. They're like, yeah, yeah,
Of course, then the reality is not like that. There's a lot
no,
more effort to that.
right. It's not
But
as easy as they.
that at least got me into dreaming and
Mhm.
being like, okay, there's something else out there than like, because when I got here, my goal was to get an office job. It was kind of gradual how I was going about things.
Mhm.
So the way I always thought is that I either was going to be a musician or some employee, like a rock star, or I wasn't going to make much money basically. Um, and I always said, as long as I have like a studio and I can play my guitar, that's all I want.
Yeah.
You know, that I didn't have much ambitions other than being able to play
Mhm.
music. And when it came to jobs, I didn't do much because also Argentina, the only way that I could actually do something wasn't through entrepreneurship, but was through luck or something like, every poor kid dreams like being a
Mhm.
famous soccer player or, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
something like that. So it was always that grind that you
Mhm.
had to, well, you have to, we are talking about how to maintain the standard of living the other day.
Yeah.
And I was very conscious about that. And I was like, well, I already know that unless I make it, with, I don't know, a song or something like that, I'm not going to be living luxury
Mhm.
at all. And well, little did I know I was going to move here. And when I got here, having that conversation with this guy, the
Mhm.
watch me part, well, now I'm like, I'm not going to go get a job at, like, it's
Yeah.
not that it's wrong for every immigrant to start, washing dishes or things like that. But I was like, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna go
Mhm.
to an office. But then that trapped me in a different way because that was the 9 to 5.
Right. Exactly that. So we're told as, I mean, we see in society as kids, we see our parents working 9 to 5. That's just the norm, right? You go to
Yeah,
college, so like that's what we're shown and what we believe will be our reality as well. So that's how you are sort of brainwashed into thinking that that's who you are.
that you have to
And
exchange time, like your time, for money.
right. Yeah, so back to the modern day slavery. Why is it slavery? I think because I just don't think that there's really that many people who, if they had any choice in the world, that that's what they would be doing. And I obviously there are exceptions, and I think there are people out there who enjoy their job, and we're not talking about those people.
We're talking about like 90% of the people in the workforce.
Yeah, it just nobody maybe, and maybe they like the what the idea of their job, like they're a nurse or something and they really love helping people and love the medical field and stuff, but the part where they give their, like you said, they're sacrificing so much time from their life and for money is what they don't like.
Correct. And
And that's the slavery part of it, because you don't have any freedom with your time. Like that is what it's the time and freedom part there. You don't have the freedom to be with your kids whenever you choose, you know, or go on vacation whenever you choose. You have to ask somebody for time off.
hmm
And like you have to ask your master, you know, your boss. Like,
even for unpaid time off, there
yeah,
are places that do not even let you take unpaid time off.
yeah,
That never worked for me. Every place that I worked for didn't have that, the unpaid time off, and I didn't care. I was like, fine, fire me.
yeah.
They never did. They never fired me.
I like that. It's like this girl I watch on TikTok that she did this rejection therapy video, and it's like, see how many times she can get rejected, and I like that like outlook on it. She's like, fine, fire me. I don't care. I'll just go get another job. Like, you know,
Yeah, it's nothing
I was
special.
exactly the opposite of that. I was like, oh, please don't fire me. Please don't. Like, I could be the perfect employee. You're gonna love me. You know, I'm gonna be so good.
Yeah. No, I wasn't like that, but because I wasn't passionate about it. I was going to
Yeah.
do just the right amount to do my job. That was it. I had to perform. I
Hmm.
performed. I wasn't going to go above and beyond. There
Yeah.
wasn't any reward for that.
Yeah. I know.
I was still going to get paid the same hourly salary.
Hmm.
And that's the other part of it. Like that's why it has a twist, and it's because you
Hmm.
agree to it.
Hmm.
And because you agree to it, you can disagree with it. And that's how you gain power
Yeah.
over it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you sign a contract right when you start a job, but you can always quit.
Always.
So,
Like it's not you're not giving that company or that boss your soul. You're not it is hard. I
mhm.
I quit one, two, three, shit.
Not hard for you.
Yeah. It used to be hard.
It was never hard for me to quit. It honestly wasn't though. Like I got to the point in those jobs where I was just like, "F this, I'm done.
Yeah.
See ya never."
I mean, but that's the thing. Like, what would be amazing is to just quit when you're ready to quit, rather than you're so burnt out that it's like, "Ah, fuck
Yeah,
this."
yeah,
But it is not hard because it is. That's why it's a social contract. That's why if you can need to get a job because you have bills, right? You need to pay rent, you need to pay
hmm,
mortgage, whatever the case is. You need to put food on your table.
hmm,
That's getting a job. You're like, okay, I'm broke. Like, I
hmm,
seriously, I have like $300 in my bank account, and
yeah,
my bills are piling up, and my credit card bill is going up like crazy too. So yeah, you probably do need to do something so you can start getting some income, so
yeah,
you're not in the deep. But at the same time, that's I view that as temporary because you
right,
can always get a job.
right. So the way that you have to get out of that mindset is start dreaming about what else you would do, because I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. They have their 9 to 5 job, they're just comfortable. They don't actually really like it that much. Do you need help with that?
I'm okay.
um but it's hard for them to dream about what life could be like any other way, or if they would be able to have a self concept that's different than they do of themselves now.
Well, I think that it's various things and that problem. There's people that don't have a dream. They haven't found their passion. Like when I think about people like that, and as much as I love him, and I always say this, I think about my brother, for example.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that doesn't have a dream. He never did. He never had a like. I had several dreams when I was a
Yeah.
kid. I wanted to be like very little. I wanted to be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I was a little bit older, I wanted to be an NBA player. Then I wanted to be a musician.
Mm-hmm.
Then
That right there is what sets the entrepreneurs apart from the people who have 9 to 5 jobs and keep them for extended periods of time, or even that just jump from job to job. It's like the dreamers versus the non-dreamers.
and it's to dream is to be brave,
Mm-hmm.
and it's to be yourself too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how
because that could be really uncomfortable, like thinking about something that you want to do that maybe in your family, for example, was really viewed poorly. Like, oh, I don't know, you want to,
I have the perfect example. You want to
okay.
be a musician because you're
Uh-huh.
lazy.
Yeah.
You don't want to go and work for real. You just want to play your little guitar there and
Yeah. That's a lot of times people's family members will put them down for dreaming or something when they're a little kid, and then they'll just shut that part of themselves down, which is so sad.
that doesn't mean that hard work doesn't go into things that you love or like even things
Mm-hmm.
like music. Like a lot of hard work goes into becoming a professional musician,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes that doesn't even happen. And that's what people don't see. Like the idealizing of, oh, like one is the idealizing of oneself.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I become a musician, everything's going to be easy because like I'm going to be having fun doing my job.
Mm-hmm.
You're still going to be working though.
Yeah, but if you can dream about something, then it like puts you in that excitement um, feeling and mindset. And when you start doing something that is in alignment with going towards that dream, it is work, but it doesn't feel like it.
It feels like play.
Well, it might not even feel like play all the time. Sometimes it does, but it feels like almost like you're have a heightened energy.
Yeah.
So yes, it is work, but it's not the same as working at your 9 to 5 job. It does not feel like that at all because
No.
you're not working towards your dream. You're working for somebody else's dream.
Yeah. So you better start dreaming.
That's the first
And
step.
yeah,
Start dreaming. Just let yourself dream.
because if
Dream
you
a
don't
little
dream,
dream.
you're not gonna fulfill your dreams that you don't have, but you're gonna be working to fulfill somebody else's dream
All right.
and just exchanging time.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's
You're
situations
wasting your time, which is your life. You're giving it to somebody else for somebody else's dream.
for 40 to 45 hours a week
Yeah.
plus commute.
Yeah. When you think about it that way, it's just, it kind of sobers you and like puts it in perspective, because something that I think about often is how short life is. And we're just these, you have to like really put it in perspective. We're just little specks in the universe. And I saw this one reel one time, and it was like zooming out from you into the universe. And it's important that we watch stuff like that or feel that way to get that feeling of like, wow, like nothing really matters as much as I think it does, because my life is a little blip in existence. And who the fuck cares if I embarrass myself or I fail, or who the fuck cares if I go bankrupt? Like,
right?
who the fuck cares? Just keep trying.
We know
And
people that have gone bankrupt several times and they're still getting back up.
yeah,
What's the big
and
deal?
then in the end of the day, I would rather go bankrupt all the fucking time rather than work for somebody else and
A
give
hundred
them my
percent.
life.
Yeah,
I could never do that again.
I tried.
Yeah.
It
I,
doesn't work anymore. It
no,
doesn't work. It doesn't. It feels like a waste of time. It's kind of weird.
it's a waste of your energy. It's a waste of your life force. It's a waste of you. It's a waste of who you are because you came here for a reason, with a purpose, and so did every single human being. We all have a purpose that's unique. And if you're not going to do it in this lifetime, then you're going to come in the next one and try to do it then. So do it now or do it in the next life. It doesn't matter, I guess, when you think about it that way. Fine,
Yeah,
if you don't want to do it in this life, then do it in the next. But why not just enjoy life now?
and that's the thing. If you like, okay, this is what bothers me about this situation because I hear people in their 9 to 5 complaining about their 9 to 5, but not dreaming about something else. It's like I complained about it a lot, but I had other dreams, other things that I wanted to do.
Yeah, but that's because they do not think it's possible for them to do something different.
I get it,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, if you complain about the job that you signed the contract for,
Mm-hmm.
don't you see that you put yourself in that situation? That's the part
Right.
that I'm like, this is you. This is your responsibility. If you can quit
Mm-hmm.
right now. Go to your supervisor and say, dude, I had it with this. I quit.
Yeah.
If you hate it that much, why do you stay there? Just do it. Just quit that job and get another one. And then by the time that
Yeah.
you get the third one, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I need to start dreaming because then I'm just gonna get the next job. It's not the job,
Yeah.
it's me.
Yeah. What I would do if I was in that position is I would start dreaming of if I could do anything I ever wanted, if I could and make money for it, what would that be? And then either stay at my job that I have and but be spending most of my time in that while I'm there at that job,
Dreaming.
dreaming about how I'm going to start my business or get another job that allows me to just sit there. Like there's a lot of jobs where you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You can just sit there and then dream about your next steps. And then once you're ready and you have the plan, you quit that job and you go.
And that's it. There was a phrase, I think it was The Rock, that said like pay your bills 9 to 5, build your empire 5 to midnight, or
Yeah.
something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but that's because after work you need to take care of yourself, and not only take care of yourself by like eating healthy, going to the gym, and yada yada. That yeah, that too. But you need to be focused on what's gonna feel good for your life. If you're doing a job just because of money, not because it feels good doing it, if it doesn't have like, because there's people that love a corporate job
Mm-hmm.
and they feel important with the position, and they get a sense of purpose
Yeah.
um, by doing certain type of corporate jobs, which is fine as long as you like find your passion. Find if that's your passion, then go ahead and like work hard to get there, or not even work hard, but like make sure that you know what steps you need to take
Mm-hmm.
in order to get what you want. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to start always thinking it starts with a dream. it starts with a
Well,
want.
I would say if you're somebody listening to this right now, if you are still listening, and you have a 9 to 5 job, it's probably because you don't like it. Otherwise, why would you be listening, right? I mean, or you're thinking about maybe this isn't the right thing for me.
Or you need a change.
You need to change. Yeah, because usually what happens is when we're in that spot, maybe life has become mundane or you just don't feel alive, or I don't know, you feel like something's missing, then that is a push for you to make a change and consider that maybe that change is
It has happened to me.
changing your life.
Crying at my job
Hmm.
because I hated it so much. I didn't want to be doing this, and I was like, "What do I do?" Usually, when I get to that point, is when I quit.
Yep. Yeah. If you cried at your job, then quit.
Yeah,
Just quit.
just quit. It's just breaking your
I
soul.
yeah.
Like, there's no point on keep doing that. You can for sure get another one that at least is not as bad. But it is about wanting to do something and working towards it, and it takes a lot. I My first few years of real estate, I had there was a year that I had 14 different jobs, and I was doing real estate on top of two other jobs at the same time at
Hmm.
times. So it,
Hmm. Persistence,
it takes time.
perseverance. That's what a video that one of our friends and clients sent to us, or sent to me. She sent it to me, this video about a guy with the 5 P's, and two of them were persist, or one of them was perseverance, I think.
Hmm.
Persistence, perseverance. So that comes easy though when you are following a dream. It comes a lot easier.
Yeah,
It's not like torture putting yourself through things. They're just really hard days when you're like, oh, did I make the wrong decision? Or why am I doing this? This is so hard. But then you get through it and then you get rewarded, and that's what keeps you going. So
and that's why there's also, besides the dreams, there's the part where you have to be mindful about what you're doing and what you want from it. At the same time, you have to be, I think, very, like Bruce Lee said, you got to be like water. You have to be able to adapt, because maybe you were chasing a dream, and when you're chasing that dream, you find another path that you're like, wait a second, actually this looks a lot more like this feels a lot better.
well, yeah, because it's not like a straight line.
No.
It's just not, like, it hasn't been for us. It's not for anybody. But that doesn't mean you're not going to be supported through the process. Like, for us, it's always been like we're changing and evolving all the time, but we've always been supported by whatever it is, source, energy, like you want to call
God.
it. We've been supported. We've always had what we needed. So, and more. So, I feel like it is trusting that you will be supported when you take that step.
You have to think that you're in this life to do that which you love. That's why you came to this world. That's why your soul, or however you want to call it, your energy force,
Mm-hmm.
decided to live as you, because you're the only one that can do the things that you want to do, that feel right in your soul to do. And if you're aligned with that, the more aligned with that, the better, the happier you are. The farther away from what your soul came to do here you are, the more depression you have, the more. So you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It just, you're gonna feel much better in all aspects of your life if you follow
Hmm.
that what you want to do.
Hmm. Yeah, so we are going to be working on in the future a course, a mini course that will help people quit their 9 to 5 job. So
Stay
if
tuned.
you're interested in that, comment on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, or send us a message because we would like to see how much interest we have, and that's something that we're excited to create for people because we think that coming up here in the next few years, a lot of people are going to be moving in that direction. And if you need some help with anything, just reach out to us and we would love to talk to you.
We would.
All right. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.